All right, well, welcome. I'm Matt Ryan, host of Moderated by Matt on YouTube. Welcome to the 25th anniversary of Legally Blonde. We're here to celebrate a movie that launched the career of Reese Witherspoon and really flipped the script on the ditzy blonde trope and really introduced us to a character and a new way of storytelling. We're honored to have the brains behind Legally Blonde, Kirsten Smith, and Karen McCullah from Legally Blonde.
Yay! Thank you, guys.
All right, before we begin, as someone who's been dismissed as a ditzy, shallow blonde my whole life, I want to thank you for your service back in 2001, showing that I could be like other blondes more than just a sexy and ditzy. So thank you.
You're very welcome, Matt. You're very, very welcome.
All right, so we're going to go back to the beginning. It's based on a true story.
It is
sort of
based on an unpublished manuscript by Amanda Brown, who went to Stanford Law and was quite bored while she was there. So she would write funny letters to her friends. And they said, you should make these a book. These are hilarious. And that's how the whole thing began.
And we received that manuscript when it was kind of in a very early form, and she was shopping it around Hollywood. And a few different producers sent it to us. And we immediately connected with it. I saw the potential of what an incredible concept it was, what a great voice and character. So we were kind of in from an early stage, and Mark Platt then ended up winning the opportunity to set it up at MGM, at which point then he encouraged us to come in, and we developed a pitch with him. He might have been talking to other writers, I don't know. In our minds, we're the only ones. And we went in and we pitched MGM, and we wore pink to our pitch. I believe we were lightly in character.
We always dressed up for pitches back
I
in the
know,
day.
it was a little embarrassing.
We pitched on Grease 3, y'all, and we dressed as pink ladies.
Yeah, that was full, there were full kerchiefs. We did not get that job. But we got this job, and here we are today.
So then what was your pitch? Because this movie could have went in so many different directions. What was your angle? What was your angle in?
There was a really strong framework. We'd written 10 Things I Hate About You, which had gotten, oh, guys, thank you. We'd come off of that movie had come out, whilst not a big box office sensation, it had a little bit of a following. It got pretty good reviews. We were sort of on the map as screenwriters, so I think maybe they understood. There weren't also a lot of female screenwriting teams at that time, so maybe they were charmed by us.
Probably. We're very charming.
We were fresh, new, exciting. We came in popping with a lot of energy, and I don't really remember what we.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what we said, but we were. I think Mark Platt, who produced Wicked, and is an iconic producer. He really, really believed in us, and he wasn't. He sort of set us up for great success as a producer, and he was like, "These are the women to write this movie." So.
The one thing, remember people in the 90s, 80s, and 90s, women, especially sorority girls, were always portrayed as shallow, catfighting, always trying to, how am I going to get the boy to like me only, is the only character driven. Films were shot from the male point of view only, like the lens of a male viewer, usually an adolescent. You guys flipped the script, though. You wanted to make a character that's earnest, sweet, cares, not really mean bone in her body, feminine. What was your approach to kind of do that? There was a new character we had not seen before.
Well, we took who's usually the villain in the movie, the pretty rich girl, and made her the underdog. So that was kind of what made it unique at the time. But I was always surprised in the reviews where it was just like, everyone in her sorority is nice and supportive. I was like, well, everyone in my sorority was nice and supportive. It's like, they're not all bitches. I thought that was interesting that was considered unique.
I think we were very impacted by Clueless, which was a movie that we loved, and kind of when we pitched on it, we said it's Clueless meets The Paper Chase, which is an old-fashioned law movie. So I think that was pretty obvious that Elle is directly related to Cher in Clueless in terms of her benevolence and kindness and
optimism.
I also will say that the director of this movie, Robert Luketic, is a gay man, and you can tell by the way this movie is shot, like there's glamour and beauty, but never fetishization in terms of her. There's bikini shots, but it's not gross. Like this is a POV of a gay male lens, like really idolizing her as the queen that she is.
All right, so you mentioned the law. So what was your research into law, and how did you guys do in your LSATs to prepare?
We went to Stanford Law for 1 week,
1 week.
the most boring week of our lives. And
We tried to crash a lot of parties.
I cried a few times in constitutional law.
Also, our hotel was haunted. I
Yes.
just wanted, that's a weird sidebar, but
had to
Karen was
move.
really stressed.
Well, I couldn't sleep because there was ghosts having a party in my room
Yeah,
every
yeah,
night. I
yeah.
thought I was having the same dream every night, and then I realized, no, there's fucking ghosts having a party in my room right now. I could hear the piano, I could hear glasses tinkling, I could hear like crinoline skirts swishing. So we had to switch hotels the last night there because I wasn't getting any sleep. And it's like hard enough to stay awake in constitutional law class when there's ghosts keeping you up all night too.
So she was really in the headspace of a young law student, a sleepless, stressed out law student. But yeah, we popped in on a lot, like the sort of going around in circles scene, like that was something that we were tiptoeing and eavesdropping on in our research. I don't think we ever would have had that in the screenplay if
No,
we
because
hadn't.
I pictured law school as like everyone being 21, like fresh out of undergrad. But at Stanford, they were all 30, and they had like electrical engineering degrees, and some were medical doctors, and
They're very
one
accomplished
girl,
people, yeah.
She had a PhD in Japanese block printing, and I was like, this is so bizarre. So that we tried to incorporate that and like all the weird little background stuff.
And
going
we
around the
were,
circle.
we were pretty basic bitches, so we were like sort of shocked that you go into these classes and you get the Socratic method was happening where you get called on randomly. It's like it's like this is an intense environment.
There was like one class, it was like 500 people, and the professor's like, we hear there's some Hollywood people here today, like doing research. And he's like, raise your hands. And Kirsten's like, don't move. We just sat there like completely frozen, which totally made us look obvious because everyone else is looking around and we're like, don't fucking move.
Yeah. Everyone else is very accomplished, and we're just like people. One of us is haunted by a ghost in a hotel.
Okay, so actresses were circling the part.
Sorry, we're tickled by these. We don't go down these random
Look.
tangents too often. Thank you, Matt Ryan, for letting us do
Sleep
this.
in haunted hotels all that often.
So going back, Christina Applegate was apparently approached at one
She
point.
said that in
Gwyneth
interviews, but we
Paltrow
were
was
unaware of
interested.
that.
But what was about Reese Witherspoon that made you think she was perfect to play your scripted character, Elle?
Okay, we loved the movie Freeway
Yeah.
that she was in.
So good.
Great film. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's a very dark retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, really edgy, R-rated, twisted, and she just popped onto the scene in that. She was also in Man in the Moon, but I felt
Yeah, it
like
was
Freeway
really
was
good.
really like where she showed grit, edge, wildness, and obviously she'd been in Election, which is a classic.
But she's the only actress we knew of that was up for the role.
I mean, we knew of a couple others, but we'll tell you in the lobby afterwards.
Off camera.
know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Off
I don't
social
remember
media.
any.
I know one.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Tell me later.
you'll remember.
Obviously Meryl Streep.
Yes, Meryl was up
yes.
for it.
But I
was
feel
busy.
like it was. I mean, maybe there was people discussed, but there weren't a lot of like offers and meetings happening.
I think
It
she was
was-
the only offer, probably.
She was, yeah, and she was the one where it was taken quite seriously, and it was quick. I just remember it being like light conversations maybe, but like the second we landed on her, and Mark was really cool with us. Like he was having discussions about what do you think, like is.
Oh, I
this
remember who the
person-
other actress is
Yeah, you
now.
do now.
She was never
but
made
yeah.
an offer, but she was discussed, and we
Yes.
were like, no.
Yes. Tell you later in the lobby. But yeah, I don't think maybe it crossed the desks of people, but we were not privy to that. That maybe is a Mark question, but get him on the show.
Reese was the right choice.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
for sure.
God.
Yeah.
Landed that plane
It felt
perfectly.
so perfect because Election she just did a whole you know, she did that kind of brilliant, smart, underestimated, determined thing really well. And then in this movie, she shows this kind of
Well, it's the first time she played an adult too, because I remember the
Yeah.
scene where she and
Oh,
Paulette
right,
are
'cause Cruel
drinking
Intentions,
beers.
too. I mean, wait a minute.
She and Paulette are drinking beers, and she goes, Karen, they're never going to let this scene be in the movie. They're not going to show me drinking beer. And I'm like, you're 21, you're in law school. And she was like, oh my God, I'm an adult in this movie. Like, it was like the first time she hadn't played like a high school kid.
I remember Pleasantville was a movie that I fell in
Yeah.
love with her. It was
Yes.
like Tobey Maguire. It was just a really cute.
Yes,
good
that's
use of her.
It's a great movie, right? She was clearly like launching into incredibleness.
You touched on. Let's talk about the opening. So the opening is important. Setting up the sorority house, setting up Warner. So what was the process of kind of creating your sorority house and then their
Oh, I know.
relationship?
I know the answer. I know you do too.
It's in Pasadena. It's just a
No.
regular street.
Oh, but do you remember this? That Robert Luketic's pitch for directing the movie was he pitched that opening. He didn't come in as a director and pitch like you need to change this in the script and that in the script and this in the script. His pitch was like we open on a sorority and we follow a girl riding a bicycle down sorority row and then we follow her into the invitation. Like that was really his visual
Yeah.
pitch. I in my recollection, and that was kind of what got him the job because he came into the room and painted it so cinematically, and that was not in our original draft. But
Yeah.
it's like such a cool opening.
But I always felt a little guilty because those are just mansions in Pasadena that we stuck Greek signs in front of. So I always felt like, oh God, people are going to come to California for that Greek road that doesn't exist. But it's okay.
In Pasadena, it
But it's
does.
just somebody's house. But
All right. So please tell me,
Yeah.
the scene where Warner dumps her at the restaurant when she thinks she's getting proposed to is not autobiographical.
no. That we shot that on UCLA.
No, that was right down the street. It was on Wilshire.
The interior was,
Yeah.
but the exterior was UCLA.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was in the book. Obviously, that's
Mm-hmm.
the inciting incident of the movie. But yeah, it's shot right down the street.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills.
I actually did have a first date there once, and the guy dumped me like a month later. So maybe that was a
You were bringing
reverse
those two things
engineering.
together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sort of.
Sort
you
of,
know.
yeah. Yeah.
It was a brilliant moment because that's where I think Reese's acting chops pulled.
Oh my
like you can
God.
see it, like that flip in her.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, where she's still playing comedically but tragically. That balance.
Yes, exactly. Like she's crying in kind of an over-the-top comedic way, but you're also just your heart is breaking for that darling girl. Yeah.
So, the Legally Blonde admission video.
That was fun.
Oh my God.
What went into creating that sequence, and also you also have her study like the Rocky training scene when she's studying for the LSATs, mixing with that. But
Yes.
that admission video.
We
and
had scenes in that were never got shot because one of them they went to go see Judge Judy and like get her autograph after, and Judge Judy's like, I don't want to be in this stupid movie. Like she didn't do it. She had better things to do.
Wait, didn't we also have her go to a set?
The
of-
practice.
Oh yeah, she went to meet Dylan McDermott
And he
on
didn't
the
wanna be in
set
it
of the
either.
practice in order to research. This is very 90s, very late 90s, early 2000s.
But yeah, none of those people wanted to do
But
it.
we had such a blast writing this sequence. I remember it
Yeah.
was just we were cracking each other up constantly.
And the Days of Our Lives details because I'm a huge
Yes.
Days of Our Lives fan. And then I remember Mark Platt being like, well, by the time the movie comes out, is that still going to be the plot of? I'm like, that's been the plot of Days of Our Lives for 20 years. Like, that will always be the plot of Days of
Right.
Our Lives. We were safe.
Yes.
Did you know the legal jargon line? We use legal jargon in everyday life would pay off so well.
No, we
No,
did not.
that was pretty.
Well,
that
also
was-
the Jackie and the Maryland line. That's
Yeah. We
That-
were just making each other chortle,
Yeah.
really. And so the fact that you guys are chortling now, 25 years later, is beyond.
Okay, we're having fun, but there was controversy on set. One actor
Was it?
apparently tried to steal all the lines, demanded you guys write the lines for the actor and take them away from Reese. Of course, I'm talking about Mooney.
yes.
Bruiser Woods, the dog.
He
What did you guys, how many problems did you have with Bruiser Woods writing that character and all the difficulties, you know, of him fighting Reese for the lines and all the limelight?
Well, he wouldn't play with my dog, so I was mad about that. I brought my very sweet, cute dog, and Bruiser was just like, I'm working, bitch. I don't have time to play. So yeah, he wasn't a very friendly dog, but he barked, like every time he barks, it's because someone's standing there with a piece of chicken on a fishing pole,
Yeah.
like bouncing it in front of him. So
But
he's just
for
like, "Ooh, chicken."
Chihuahua, he would let people hold him.
Not me.
Really? Okay, so you guys, I had pit bulls when we were making this movie, but now I have a Chihuahua, so I'm a parody of ourselves.
Did you realize he would take off though? Because he was awesome. The accessories, like he
I know.
just-
I have a stuffed bruiser dog that is in my dog's playpen right now.
I mean, when you say would he take off, I think no. When we were making this movie, we were so under the radar. No one knew this movie would take off. It was just like an $18 million movie that nobody was monitoring at the studio. There was no pressure and expectation. We were completely underdogs.
I don't think the studio execs ever even came to set. It's like they forgot we were making it, and then
I
they're like, "Oh, hey, we got
mean,
a
they were
movie."
just, it was just a very low key, like, and then we're going to drop, it turned out well. We dropped it in the summer. We were up against a lot of male movie star movies that you
was a
you
De
know,
Niro movie
it was
that
The Score, yeah, and a
That's what
few
it was.
others. And there was just, we were like, oh, there's no way this is gonna. And also, the other thing was there were only 2 billboards up for this movie in LA. And we were like, where are all the billboards? And Mark Platt was like, outdoor advertising doesn't mean anything. Don't worry, this is gonna go well. And we were like, but.
But we
And he was
like
correct.
billboards.
Yeah, he was correct. And yeah, it was a complete shock when the movie opened very well at 20 million. I will say 10 things.
20.4.
20.4. Our 10 Things I Hate About You, we opened against, we thought we were going to open great, but we opened against The Matrix. So we were destroyed. So we were kind of, we were kind of like, okay, we know how it feels to not perform well on opening weekend, which at that era was like the movie lives or dies on an opening weekend. So the fact that we opened at #1, we had a little party for our friends, and it was an incredible night when the numbers came in, and
Yeah.
it was we were in the middle of our own party, and we were told like you're opening at #1, and it was
And we
cool.
might have had a cocktail or two after that.
And before
I think we had some before too.
yeah
but not Reese, because she was on, she felt she couldn't drink.
Yeah.
yeah
No, but in some ways it sounds like this. It was good that the studio was ignoring it. Like it let you guys do what
Yeah,
you needed
yeah.
to do. Like there was no interference, no kind of like, 'cause they
Right.
Yeah.
probably let them do what they want to do.
I think so. I think they really trusted Mark. They trusted Reese, and Mark was and Rick Kidney was the line producer, was really experienced, so they knew they had a steady hand in production, and they knew Mark was going to be there with a first-time director. Also, I will say, shout out to the marketing team at MGM. When they saw the movie, they got wildly creative. They went on. They made a talk show host out of that era named Regis Philbin, who might be too old for you guys to remember. They made him dye his hair blonde. They created a Legally Blonde
National
Day.
Blonde Week.
They put Jennifer Coolidge on a float at the Gay Pride Parade, throwing out T-shirts. They were super creative, and it all worked. And they were brilliant at marketing the movie.
All right, so we're going to talk about another actor, Luke Wilson playing Emmett. Another trope twister where he could have been the male boyfriend savior, typical of that era. He wasn't. He was supportive, but basically I thought his tone was, you got it, you don't need me, kind of attitude. Ally, yeah. And just like, sweet, supportive, but not, and understanding. How fun was it writing him, and what did you have Luke in mind when you were writing?
As we wrote it, we referred to it as the Luke Wilson character. And then when they were casting, they were going to all these other guys and were like, hey, how about Luke Wilson to play Luke Wilson?
Yeah.
And then finally the casting director's like, hey, girls, I think I'm going to bring in Luke Wilson for the
Wait,
Luke
oh
Wilson.
yeah,
We're like, what?
it was at the table read.
Yeah.
When yet another guy read for the Luke Wilson role, and we were like, remember those 100 faxes that we sent you about Luke Wilson? He's like, good idea.
Yeah, I should bring him in. We're like, yeah, maybe, since we read
And
the
I
role
don't.
for him.
I think he just straight offered him. Really.
Yeah. But there's the scene where like she's gonna leave and go back to LA. We had written this big, long speech for him to say, and then at the last minute we're like, let's just cross that out and have him say, stay. And he does it so well, and it's so heartfelt. It was like way better than our stupid long speech we had for him. So we were just like, what a master. He just conveyed it all with one word. Yeah,
Oh, he's
he was
so
nice.
good.
Yeah, he's really
He
sweet.
was so kind to us
Yeah.
too.
He's a very nice
Yeah.
guy.
And he's a good contrast to Warner,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yes.
because, the douche, in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was sweet. It worked great.
You want a boyfriend like, if you're gonna have a boyfriend like that. Yeah.
I love the reaction. But we do have one mean girl, Vivian. Would you have? What would you thought about her relationship, starting with her being mean and things? But I found it interesting. Elle was never wanting to be mean to her, even though
Elle takes the high
high
road.
road.
Yeah, that's
How
what
was it
makes
like
her a
arcing
hero.
them? And I thought the great
Elle's
scene
never
when they
mean to
actually become
anyone.
friends, I thought was sweet. Let her hold
Yeah.
the dog. What was your
Yeah.
plan for those two?
I think that's just, that's an enemies to lovers thing. We didn't even know that wasn't a term then, but it just felt right, that they would start that way. And then for a
Yeah.
movie about a woman who's so interested and focused about female friendship as she is as a sorority leader, that she would end up, assuming the best and winning over and making a sister out of her enemy in the
Nemesis.
beginning. Yeah.
I thought it was a moment when Bruiser was going to bark at her or like bite. I thought that was sweet.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
really cute.
That was a cute. That was a little subtle moment.
That was a kind of on-set moment, right?
Yeah.
Because it was actually set up that he doesn't like her.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
one person doesn't like her. I thought it was kind of a nice
Yeah.
little twist.
Yes. I
oh,
think I would just say I feel like in the editing, the beauty of reaction shots is like it's really
Yeah.
it just shows you a lot. We didn't write in a lot of those reaction shots, but it's so much of the so
Alana
many of the
Ubach and
jokes.
Jessica Caulfield, the two sorority sisters at the trial, like, that's the funniest part of the trial to me, when she's like, I know, but like, everything. The judge and the jury people, that just kills me every time.
No,
They're so
their
funny.
Their chemistry was just amazing
Yeah.
together. And we really fought for both of those actresses, actually. There was a lot of we were given the opportunity to watch tapes, and we really lobbied hard for both of them.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. We won't tell you who the ones we didn't lobby for were. In the lobby, maybe. At the lobby. Yeah,
I don't remember.
I do. No.
Okay, but one of the iconic scenes, obviously, when Elle dresses as a bunny. And the costume party, which she snaps back, but also I thought a sweet scene at the party too with her friend. How'd you want to view that party scene? Because that could have turned dark, but Elle owned it.
I just feel like Karen wrote the most iconic line of all time in the movie. The constipated line
Constipated
is
bit.
like, that is the genius
Yeah.
of Kay McCullah. Yes, oh.
That was one where it's like, we knew we needed a line. Mark called and he's like, we need a line to go here. And that was the very first line I wrote. And then I spent 2 hours writing more lines. And then I'm like, nope, first one's the best one. Always good to remember that.
Yes.
But we got to talk a little Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
So what was your thoughts on, starting their relationship and having the first legal case be getting a dog, which ties into Elle's, love of dogs?
I feel like that was kind of our biggest work from the first draft of the script to what you see on screen was like building that B plot. In the original novel, the manicurist was a French woman, hence the name Paulette Bonaparte. That's her name, Paulette Bonaparte, right?
Bonafonte.
Bonafonte, thank you. But yeah, so we sort of tweaked her
It
into
was a much
this.
smaller role.
It was a much smaller
yeah,
role,
they didn't
and
become
then
friends.
in the script, I feel like Mark really encouraged us to go there, and we built out this whole B plot, and that was kind of our biggest first draft to second draft to third draft work, including the Bend and Snap, which was a late addition. All of the dog plot and the Bend and Snap came in like the kind of, we've got the script great, now we need to have these additive set pieces and B plot sequences, and we leaned on that relationship, and that was before Jennifer was cast, but they were magic together. I mean, they had such great chemistry.
But Tony Basil wouldn't let Jennifer dance in the Bend and Snap thing. She's like, you should just stand and watch. It was kind of
Well, okay. More on that in the lobby. Yeah, the Bend and Snap was invented in a bar,
L'Hermitage
in
Hotel,
also
right
in
over
Beverly
there.
Hills, when we were going through the rewrite process, and
So on the 20th anniversary, I got the L'Hermitage to have a drink, a cocktail on their menu called the Bend and Snap.
Oh.
And we had a little party there. It was fun.
Yes.
And if you remember, for the 10th anniversary, you guys judged the Bend and Snap contest for
We
the first
did.
event we did,
Oh
as
my
an
gosh.
event.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I mean, I can still do it for you, but let's, again,
No, lobby,
lobby.
off camera.
Lobby,
It's
yeah.
basically just a yoga pose.
Isn't it a little surreal?
Come on, Karen.
Isn't it surreal though how much is taken off today? Like, people still do it on TikTok. Like, it's such a thing.
Yeah. Well,
I can't
remember
process
a couple
that.
years after it came out, Jen was in Europe and she's like, the bend and snap is like a dance move in gay discos in Germany. And I was like, what? Like, yeah, it's gone everywhere. Yeah.
Kooky.
And also, but one of the clever things, you have to tie Elle's legal ability with her, sense of fashion and hairstyle. How did you view the relationship with Brooke, played by Ali Lauder? How did they create that dynamic? Because I thought that was actually another sweet, genuine relationship.
It was great. Allie's amazing.
And now
Yeah.
she's on the Landman. doing
Yes.
it.
I
I'm
d-
sorry, what was the question?
I think just how we viewed their relationship, but it was, I feel like the testament to why that lands is Ali Larder's just so good. And also shout out to Sophie Durakoff, because the costume designer, because I mean, just Ali wearing that like black dress with the gold necklace in the courtroom scene. I mean, the fashion of this movie is divine, and it was really ahead of its time. I think both of us were sort of like, are these looks gonna land? Like, some of these costumes were pretty push and extreme at the time, and now they're like couture and impeccable, and I just think she did an amazing job. And this was her first costume design job. She was like a fashion editor, and Reese and Robert championed her taking this job, and they were absolutely correct.
I liked how they bonded at the jail when she's wearing orange. The
Yes.
jumpsuit.
Yes.
That was, again, another sweet moment, though.
Yes.
Because one of the difficult things, if we're going to buy Elle at the end of the movie, we have to get established relationship. I don't think the film would have worked without that.
Yeah.
Their thing. Okay, there is one dark scene in the movie, which pre-Me Too movement, but I thought it actually
Yeah.
encapsulated the Me Too movement in a way that we had never seen before and sums it up. Elle feels high, like they like me because I'm smart, I'm such a talented person, and her professor steals that from her, the power dynamic.
Yeah.
What went into writing that scene, because that day, Me Too did not exist, but that is straight out of the power play. How did you approach that scene, and how far did you want to take it?
Well, we didn't want to make it like
Yeah.
too creepy
Yeah.
and gross, but we wanted to show that that is the dynamic. And
I feel like you had an experience too in your workplace that
Yeah.
we drew upon a bit for that scene as well. And we were
I threw a book at my boss's head once. When
Yeah.
he hit on me.
yes.
I mean, it was a checkbook. It didn't injure him
It
or
was a
anything. But I did hurl something
Small,
at
slender
his head.
book, but you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were drawing upon real experiences in a way that just it felt like
Yeah.
felt like a true thing.
But
to
then
us.
when Me Too came out, someone wrote a big article about this, like, holy shit, how do we miss that the whole end of the second act of Legally Blonde is like a Me Too tutorial. Like, but yeah, it was weird to see like the whole world caught up with it about 15 years after the movie came
I
out.
thought
Yeah.
Reese played it beautifully, though. Like,
Yeah,
because she's
yeah.
been such an
Yeah.
optimistic comedian, and the way she was able to turn that in the moment, and the Luke Wilson said, don't stay in line was great.
Yes.
Yeah, and the Jennifer Coolidge. But now we have the big finale. How fun was writing the courtroom scene where Elle takes over and shows her
That
legal
was
chops?
fun. And Mark made sure, we just did an interview recently where they were like, is that Massachusetts Supreme State Court thing real? And we're like, it had to be real or else we couldn't have done it. So that is a law that's on the books there. But it was, that was a
I
fun
remember we had, as writers, you get very tired when you're writing the end of the script. So we kind of raced through it in an early draft, and Mark was like, no, make sure she's failing in the scene. Like, make sure, because we had her kind of go quickly to the perm thing, and he was like, make sure she's struggling, make sure she is like messing up.
Yeah.
And, we live in that moment where we're scared for her to blow the whole thing. So I just thought, I remember that being a note that we learned from and have taken into
Yeah, we
the
definitely
future.
elongated it.
And I thought that line was great for Emmett, where it was almost like she was trying to take over,
Yeah.
and he's like, no,
Yeah.
you don't need me.
Yeah, and he doesn't know that she's he doesn't know what she's going to say. He just believes in her.
That was the perm. Reese's turn was so amazing. Like when the perm thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And her friends getting it. That was a great
Yeah.
moment. One little comment I have. I don't know if the audience noticed. I saw the original film on film, and it got faded pretty quickly. I've seen DVD. It was one of the most beautiful prints I've seen in the theater right
4K.
now. And you like Reese standing there, you know, in the pink outfit, in the I don't know about you guys know. I thought it was. I'd never seen it before like that. The movie popped in a way I hadn't seen
Yeah.
it since almost the day it released.
It's wonderful to see what a gorgeous job this re-release has been. It looks so pretty.
Oh, I did have one of my former students maybe had asked one question I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
The great scene where Reese comes to the aid of her guy friend when the girls won't date her.
Oh, David,
And she
yeah.
turns, how fun was doing that little
Oh,
comic
by the way,
scene?
that guy's a huge director now.
He did Long Legs.
He's done like so many like horror
Yeah.
movies now.
Oz Perkins.
Yeah.
He's a horror icon. And I spoke to him at some Long Legs thing, and I was like, hey, it's me. And he's, like,
Yeah.
bro, my movies are making 90 million. 100 million.
Yeah.
Neon.
He's killing it. But no, he was really fun. No, that was a super fun scene to do. Just like crafting what
Yes.
Reese would say so it would make it seem like really sexy, but without being like too sexy. It was like a fine line. But yeah.
I
that was a
feel
great
like we
scene.
probably we've in a lot of scripts since then used a similar type of like machination. It worked well.
But no, one time I was eating at Koi and the waitress said something about how she was in a movie and I was like, which one? And she's like, Legally Blonde. And I was like, what scene? And she's like,
Oh, I remember that girl, yeah.
it's the redhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I was there at Koi too. Was her name
Well,
George? Yeah.
That was Amber.
Amber.
But yeah, so anyway, that was just so weird to have someone be like, who's waiting on you, be like, oh, I was in this movie. And it's like, I wrote that movie. Like, who were you? But
What was the reaction when she found out it was you?
she was very excited. But I did not get any extra crab rolls, if that's what you're asking. Would have been nice.
So going back, you mentioned before with the box office opening weekend, when did you guys know, like it was not only a box office hit, but it was cultural phenomenon? Was there a moment, something you really noticed, like, wow, this has really kind of touched the soul of the
I
viewer?
feel like the cultural phenomenon part came much later.
It's happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first time was when there was like articles or interviews about all these girls who went to law school because of the movie. Yeah. That was the one we were like, whoa. Oh,
Well,
you did? Yeah.
Really amazing.
Awesome. That's so cool. But yeah, girls are always writing like, I know, right? Oh, that's when I started crying. But I actually started writing scenes in that class because I was like, well, let's just get going on the
Right.
script because I can't listen to that. But,
Which is why it was very genuine. You
Yeah.
felt like this is someone, I felt that this is a real class that I don't want to be in.
yeah, exactly.
So I coined you a long time ago. You two are the pen that launched 1,000 careers. And I'm still going to coin you on that phrase. You wrote breakout roles for Reese Witherspoon. Heath Ledger was not known in the United States, 10 Things I Hate About You. Channing Tatum was a new star for She's the Man. And again, not a star at the point. So what? Yeah, but that was She's the Man. So what is your magical touch?
Anna Faris.
And Anna Faris House Bunny. And by the way, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, also, I mean, there was a lot of actors, young actors. What is it? What is it about you think you guys, why do your roles kind of launch find these actors? And
I think we just got really lucky. with
I think we
good
got really
actors.
lucky too. I think
Yeah.
we were in an era where we were writing exactly the kind of movies that we wanted to watch, and they were making those kinds of movies. And it was just, we were in the, as Chalamet would say, we were in the pocket, we were in the slipstream, man. And like, somehow it
Why
all.
are you quoting?
I don't know. I'm quoting a deep cut Chalamet Matthew McConaughey interview that got him in a lot of trouble, but that part was
Yeah,
was
don't
okay.
quote that part.
But yeah, we were kind of in the slipstream in the pocket, where we were writing those movies
I
and
don't know
people.
what a slipstream is. We weren't
It's
in.
what we were in. But we were writing movies that we wanted to see, and we were. I don't know. I guess we were just writing characters that felt very natural to us, and they were wanting to make those movies, and there was a niche need for those movies in the marketplace, and we were right there at the right time, and and there was just a tremendous crop of talent, and we got to be part of it. I mean, with House Bunny too, we saw the movie Just Friends, and we insisted upon a coffee with Anna, and we brainstormed with her, and we built that movie with her. We pitched that movie with her. We got that movie made with her. So that was a kind of, I think, a really exciting way to fuse, you know, that idea of like we're writing for young stars, and we got to do it with her from the beginning. So that's a special project for us.
Well, it's one thing I
House
teach the
Bunny.
writers, like if you write a really good part for an actor, whether they're a veteran actor,
Yeah.
they're going to want to play it. Like,
Yeah.
or a young actor. You're going to find the talent if you give them something to play. I like
Yeah.
your natural comment. That's probably, is that something you always make sure your characters feel as natural as possible? And then you can kind of have fun with it with the comedy.
I think so, because we're also a lot of times reading it aloud to each other, so it's got to fly with one of us in the read aloud, which will happen at, you know, at some point.
Or
in our-
sometimes we'll come up with a line and I'll be like, that's going to go in the trailer. And then she's like, don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it!
And I'm like, no, it's going in the show. And it usually does. Yeah,
She's right.
we're getting good at that, at predicting.
Well, 15 years ago, my first event I ever did was with you guys for the 10th anniversary of Legally Blonde. So I want to thank you for launching my career and
Matt.
sharing your insights with our audience today.
Oh my God, thank you so much! Yay!
You started. Do you want to
Listen, and also just shout out to the Lumiere. Like, it's so great to
Yeah,
be
this is
here,
a
and
cool
thank
little
you for
theater.
coming and supporting this theater, which is owned and operated by these awesome guys who are making it all happen. So it's thrilling to be here with you.